I'm here with Colton Fortner. He is the founder of Balance Health and Wellness, and he is a certified health coach from the Health Coach Institute based in San Diego. And I've invited you here to talk with me today about your health, fitness, and predominantly about how it affects those who are dealing with stress, toxic relationships, and kind of the effects on your body and some ways to kind of deal with that. So I really appreciate you chatting with me today.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So my clientele is predominantly women, and most of them experience toxic relationships at some point in their life. Usually the worst toxic relationship they have is with themselves. A lot of stinking thinking, negative self-beliefs, and they have a high state of stress, constant state of fight or flight, hormones kind of raging, and they're kind of the last person to take care of themselves. They take care of everybody else except themselves, and they feel a lot of guilt around that. So a pattern I've noticed is a lot of my clients also deal with chronic pain, fatigue, migraines. And so I'm just wondering if you can share with me some insights on what's kind of your number one top de-stressor strategy that could help these women.
Okay, so yes, as we know, women are natural nurturers, and they take care of everyone else before they take care of themselves, as you said. So it kind of creates almost a toxic environment for themselves, even though they are creating an abundant and nurturing environment for others.
Right.
So the best approach, I think, for women who are in this state would be to really consider taking care of themselves first. It's much like if you compare it with when you're on a flight, for example, you're going to some destination, a getaway destination of the sorts, and they tell you that you need to put the mask on yourself in case of an emergency. Put the mask on yourself so you're taken care of first, and then put the mask on the child. Reason being is if you don't get your mask on and you fiddle around trying to get their mask on and something happens, and you know, either you both could lose your lives or you could lose your lives and then they're left without a parent or something like that. So as an adult, it's our duty to take care of ourselves so that we can teach and show our children how to take care of themselves. And the best way to take care of yourself is to put the proper nutrients inside your body that your body screams that it needs every single day.
Okay.
So that would be my approach. Eat healthy.
Start with
would be the
eating
number
healthy.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like hearing that because you're right. It's an instinct as women to, be that nurturer and be like, oh, I got to take care of the kids because they're distressed and everyone else around me, and leave yourself, nutrient deprived, running till you're fatigued. And so I like that. So I can see how when you eat good and make sure you're taking time for that, it helps bring that stress level down. Fantastic.
Yes.
I love that. So you are doing an 8-week seminar, pretty quick here, at what's it called? The fitness table in Calgary?
The fitness table, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So one of your topics that you're speaking on there is the effects of stress on the body. So what are one of the effects, or what are some of the effects that stress has on your body, and kind of ways to remedy that?
Okay, so stress, as we know, has a major impact on our life every single day. And it comes in various different forms. You could be being attacked by a wild animal or another human being for that matter.
Yeah.
You could be stuck in rush hour traffic and in a hurry to get somewhere. And so that could be a stressful environment. Or struggling to meet deadlines at work. You know, you might have a boss that's really pushing you to get something done and you just don't have enough time in the day or what have you. All of these different things impact our lives and our body and basically they all impact it in the same way. So when your brain interprets stress, it's different than how your body interprets stress. And when our body interprets or undergoes a stressful situation, what happens is it shuts down your metabolism because you don't need to be processing food when you're about to be eaten by a bear or something, right?
Yeah.
So all of the energy that's being focused in your gut needs to be externalized and focused to your limbs for the fight, flight, or freeze response, right?
Right, right.
So it's most important for us to, so in that case, your metabolism shuts down, so you're no longer getting that nutrients, breaking your food down and everything.
Yeah.
And some physical ailments from that are increased cortisol production, which is directly associated with weight gain, especially in the belly area.
Yeah.
Your inability to lose or gain muscle. Your inability to lose weight or to gain muscle,
Okay.
and premature aging. So you age faster, your body starts to deteriorate a little bit quicker because it doesn't have the nutrients uptake and intake and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And because of the decrease in nutrient absorption, which is due to the enzymatic production from your stomach, your pancreas and your liver. So you'll have a decreased bile flow from your gallbladder, decreased oxygenation into your bloodstream and your muscles and things.
Yeah.
And so a whole world of problems arises just from something that could be going on in your head, right?
Wow.
So it's all directly connected with that.
Yeah. Everything you described is what I've experienced. Absolutely. Yeah. Weight gain, inability to process nutrients, and then illness, right? So, and that's what I definitely find with a lot of my clients is that they really struggle with they're like, my body is different than it used to be, and this totally makes sense why. That's really, so it's really important to bring the stress down. Is that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. And it also impacts, I know a lot of women that try to hold it inside, and a lot of them do a really good job of it. So they seem like they're happy when they're really not, but you can't really control it from kind of coming out into everything around you. So if you can become happier on the inside and kind of deal with the underlying issues and the things that stress you out, your health won't be impacted as heavily, and you will actually, because women have this strong nurturing desire and ability, that will be enhanced 100-fold just because you're taking care of yourself internally, and it'll all kind of come out and expound around the individuals that you have closest to you, namely your children.
Yeah, that's profound actually, because it's true. It's from within, right? I tell my clients all the time that if you're trying to serve your family and your children from an empty, like from a deficit, you're not able to really give them, you're trying but you're really not giving them what they need. But as soon as you fill yourself up and process what you need to, you start serving from an overflow, and it's just that much more effective. And so, yeah, you keep just pounding it down and protecting everyone. It's, as a mother, it's really easy to be like, I can't show that I'm sad or angry at this situation with this person or this toxic relationship or whatever's happening, and try to hide that and act strong, right? Put it on the shoulders, but that isn't helpful. It's just holding it all in.
Right. And this is something we need to teach our children too. Like, they have a whole bunch of different mixed emotions all day long, and as a child, being able to understand what these emotions are, where they come from, what they mean, and how to deal with them, because children learn through osmosis, which is seeing and hearing and feeling and doing all of these things, touching. It's all really important stuff that is whole part of the learning process. And if you diminish your own feelings and emotions, then it's hard to allow your children to be able to fully adapt to theirs and approach it on a new level.
Yeah, I agree. When you give yourself permission to feel and process things, you give your kids permission to do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you're working with individuals, you're not just, a fitness trainer or something is focused on your body. And so it sounds like you feel like it's more all encompassing than that. It's not just your body and eating and exercising. It's also about the emotional, mental well-being.
Right. So your health is basically built around a whole plethora of different things. So um, overall health consists of emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual health.
Right.
And when you are deficit in one area, then it kind of creeps into other areas and it affects other areas as well.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important for people to understand proper bodily function, understand their emotions and their feelings,
Yeah.
and then put the right things in their heads so that they can really connect with all the other ones.
Yeah, that makes total sense to me. I like what you said. I went to your initial introduction class that you had at, I always want to say it wrong, Fitness Table. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
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 When I went there, and I like how you said, you can look at the cost of wellness and what it takes to get your body into check and to continue to maintain that as an expense or a lot of money. But when you look at the long-term effect of what that's going to do and the losses that you're going to have because you're not well, you're not able to be active and all those things, is it really worth it? And so I like how you kind of had that perspective on things. I tell my clients all the time, if your car was to break down, would you even bat an eyelash to pay $1,000 to get it fixed? And it's like, well, no, I gotta get my car fixed. But then if our lives aren't working for us or our health, it's funny how easy it is to be like, I can't invest that in myself. And that's exactly what it is. It's an investment. That $1,000 in a car, it's done. It's out the window. And so I like what you're saying about that is it's part of all encompassing well-being, and it's important.
Right. And I really like what you said about using the analogy with the car, because I use that analogy all the time. And if you keep your car in proper maintenance and you're checking it regularly, the chances of you having an issue or breaking down on the highway or something are cut in by 75% or 80%.
Yeah.
And our bodies are the same way. If we were to properly maintain them on a constant basis, the chances of us breaking down are minimal.
It totally makes sense, doesn't it? It's a new, I'm going to admit, it is a new mindset for myself, because I used to have a very deprivation mindset and penny pinching and, but now I'm starting to see the benefits of it, where you need to penny pinch and where you need to invest. And there's a total difference. So I appreciate that. It's huge. That makes sense. So I have another question for you. What is one easy thing that someone listening today can do to start their path to recovery? So we've talked about, the nutrients, put the nutrients in, dealing with that emotional stresses, bringing them down. What tips do you have that's helpful towards their recovery?
So, that doesn't really matter if you're recovering from a broken heart or some sort of disease or surgery or a physical injury of some sort. The easiest, fastest, and most beneficial approach is to establish healthy eating habits. And I'll go back to this time and time again, because healthy eating enhances repairs and growth inside your body. And with nutrient deficiencies, especially, for example, if someone goes through a breakup, then they're heartbroken and they become malnourished because they don't eat properly. They go into a state of stress and emergency state, and things go down, and all these things, and it creates this cyclical uneasiness with your body. And so the best approach that I could recommend is to just really, you can get through this. It's going to be one of those road bumps in your life where you're not going to know what to do. It's something new. It's something that's really painful because it's meant a lot to you and all these things.
Yeah.
But don't allow yourself to succumb to the overabundance of emotions that are starting to expel themselves into all of your life, right? It's just like motherhood, and you don't want your children to see you mad or sad, or these things that we tell ourselves are negative.
Yeah.
And they're not really so much negative as, they're like, you have ups and downs, and you really don't have the ups, or you don't see such benefit in the ups unless you have the downs. So it's all about finding that balance. To maintain that balance, you're going to have to climb to the top of the mountain, and you're going to have to fall to the bottom of the valley below. And that's kind of how it gets you into a state of balance.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it really is tempting when you're full of heartache, you're not feeling great, to go to the sugar to get that kick and charge and the happy hormone. But what you're saying is like that's just a short-term answer. Reach for something healthy.
Right.
What kinds of things are easy to grab, nutrient dense, but that will kind of bring down that stress hormone? Can you think of anything that's kind of a good tip for people? Because healthy eating is so broad, and everyone's got an idea of what's good or not. So what's your kind of go-to?
Well, my take on food is anything that grows from the ground naturally,
Okay.
that has been occurring for thousands of years, like
Yeah.
that is your go-to. So Hippocrates was an old philosopher, our old guru in the medical field or industry, and he lived 600 years BC, somewhere around there. And one of my favorite sayings by him is, let medicine be our food and food be our medicine. And I think that is 100% it. So a go-to for a lot of people have mixed feelings on vegetables and stuff. They don't really like bland things or what have you, but I think it's really important to grab some sort of fresh food that you can just pick and grab right away, wash it off or something. But any kind of fruit, pick your favorite fruit and eat that.
Yeah. I think that sounds fantastic. I think that's even a really great way to just kind of wrap things up. I love what you said. Let food be our medicine. Can you repeat that? That's perfect.
Yes. Let food be our medicine and medicine be our food.
I think that's beautiful. And that deals with the stress, that deals with the health, that deals with weight management. It's just, it all comes back to that, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I think that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time, for your beautiful information and insights. And anyone who's watching, if you want to get a hold of Colton, he's on Facebook, or you can check out his 8-week course that he's doing at the Table Fitness. Am I saying that right? Fitness Table. I always get it back.
Fitness Table.
At the Fitness Table. Thank you, Colton. It was a pleasure.
Likewise. Thanks, Samara. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care.